Cesar Morales, the starting pitcher for CMU, wanted a special song to begin his day. Let's hope that means a great performance from him. Glad you guys are with us. Esteban Velez, Matt Clark with you guys. And CMU looking to go 2 for 2 in this doubleheader. First day of a 2-day series against William Penn. The Bats have already shown out today.
Oh, they did in game number 1, didn't they? And everybody was hitting. Multiple guys had multiple RBIs. It started with a 4-run first inning where Tanner Sears, Darius Freeman, and Gavin Whitehurst all had RBIs. The offense got a little quiet in the second and third, but then 2 runs in the fourth, 2 runs in the fifth, and then a 6 spot in the sixth for CMU to win game 1 comfortably, 14-5 against a pitcher they struggled with against William Penn last year. Let's see if they can continue that hot streak and that hot hitting in game number 2. They also had some great pitching.
We're on the way. Cesar Morales gets us started in the circle. North will lead things off for William Penn. Aiden North, a sophomore out of Oskaloosa, Iowa. Didn't have to travel too far to join the Statesmen. A product of Oskaloosa High School, second year in the college rankings, and he goes down swinging for round number 1. A great start to Morales. I think his song is working so far.
Yeah, well, here's my question. What is that song? Do you know that song by chance? I don't.
You know, I've heard it. The lyrics, they really don't make sense. Like, like Spanish is my first language, right? So yeah. I should be able to understand them. But basically, it's a saying, let's go forward, let's go back, let's dance a little bit. Maybe not the most profound song, but it gets the job done, hopefully.
Well, if that's what the lyrics mean, I think that's exactly what a pitcher does. They go forward when they pitch, then they go back to the mound. They dance a little bit when there's a strikeout or whatever, or maybe pitching is their dancing. But yeah.
He won't be dancing with this one. Blasted to left field, and Bradley Soto puts William Penn on the board, 1-0. The solo shot from the junior. Second home run of the day for the Florida native. Went yard in game 1 and now does so to begin his account in this second go-around.
Wow, I tell you what, I don't know what's gotten into Bradley Soto over the last couple of at-bats, but Soto hit a deep shot, a no-doubter at the end of the game 1, and then he steps up in game 2, does the exact same thing, both of them not even close to staying in the ballpark, and not the start that Morales would have wanted. And for the first time today, CMU going to work from behind.
So Bradley Soto goes oppo. Here is Abraham Arroyo, the graduate student out of Camuy, Puerto Rico, about a 2-hour drive from my hometown.
And your hometown is?
Carolina.
Carolina.
Which, to make it even easier, about 10-minute drive from the capital. There's your history about Puerto Rico for today.
Well, also history about Puerto Rico. Name a couple of great Puerto Rican baseball players.
Oh, my favorite right now?
Favorite right now?
He's retired, but he is my all-time favorite, Yadier Molina.
Yadier Molina.
Up the middle, Morales trying to make a play. Roller to second. And barely in time to record the first out. Down goes Arroyo. And Serna Jr. did just enough in second base to make it 2 away.
Close call. I'll tell you what. I initially thought that Arroyo had run that out right there. Serna took his time, though, and Serna had a little trouble in game 1 when he rushed. So he's slowing things down. All in all, he made the play, and that stops any momentum right there that William Penn can get. Because when you get a solo home run, you want to build off of that. Good work from Serna.
Foster Stites took the ball for the Eagles in game 1. And we saw what a great job he did every time he did let up a couple runs, mostly through the long ball. But the next batter up, he would retire them 4 out of 5 times.
Same could not be said for William Penn. A little back-to-back home run action in that game in the 4th inning from the 8-9 hitters in that one for CMU, Soriano and Weedy.
Soriano is sitting out this second game Will be replaced by Dominic Proctor as short. We take a look at the defensive lineup for the Eagles. Masahan in left. Negron will be in right. Darius Freeman will take care of center field. And in the infield, it'll be Weedy, Proctor, Cerna in that double play combination. Williams at first. Tyler Sears back at the plate. And Cesar Morales gets the ball.
Tell you what, Tanner Sears, I was surprised when I looked at the lineup card and saw him catching again. So he's going to be catching a lot today.
Lined over the head of Proctor. It gets down in the gap for extra bases. Auden safely at second with a head first slide. And William Penn back in business. Runners at third and second, 2 away in the top of the first.
Wish Proctor was about 6'2" because he made a leap. He had a leap right there to try to catch that line drive. It just went over his head. And for the first time today, it seems like William Penn has something to work with here. I love that play, too. Zach Ott was trying to get to second. He slid a little too early. He had to swim a couple times to end up tagging the bag. That's earning a double the hard way.
He had to fight a little bit extra hard for it. But it goes down in the scorebooks as just a regular double. He will appreciate that. Here's Keone Young. He went yard in game 1 as well. The 5'9" junior who transferred in from Southern Nevada Community College. Pops this one up, but well foul out of play. Young, one of only 4 players for the Statesmen to have played in every single one of their 24 matchups this year. Take that just in the outside corner, 2-2.
You can hear a little bit of William Penn's energy. They are more energetic in game 2, especially from the dugout, than they were in game 1.
2-2 by Morales. Into third, fair territory. Weedy with the stop. The throw across the diamond, non-existent. And the second run of the game for William Penn comes in to score in Hector Dominguez.
And wait a second.
Oh.
It's not going to count. They're going to say it was a foul ball.
Wow.
I think.
Yep.
And the head coach for William Penn, not pleased at all about that. He thought that ball was over the bag. Unlucky for Keone Young.
So here's the 2-2, spiked in the dirt by Morales. He's got to be more than thankful they called that one the wrong side of the pole.
Well, that felt like a warning sign right there. So you've seen the warning. Now how do you react to it? This is a big pitch coming up. You do have a base open here.
The payoff below the knees. And it's the second walk issued by the right-hander. Base is juiced. And Ed Perez, another Puerto Rican native himself, a chance to do some more damage. Base is loaded and 2 away. And a good stop by Sears to keep it in front of him.
Perez 0 for 3 in game 1 with 2 strikeouts. This would be a great way to turn it around in game 2.
The 1-0, and that turnaround might have to wait, although it will be trouble, and it falls in no man's land. 1 run comes in to score. A second run is home, and Perez gets his first single of the day. Make it 3-0 William Penn.
Well, William Penn just putting it in play and trying to make things happen. That's the best case scenario for a play like that. With 2 outs, runners are moving on anything. And unfortunately, just like you said, it drops right into no man's land. Serna was backing up. He didn't have enough room on it. Freeman was playing really deep. Even the speedy man out there couldn't grab it. Negron didn't have a play on it. And things are finally falling into the favor of William Penn, and they can smell a big inning here. Maybe this is a complete reversal of what we saw in Game 1. But CMU is going to have to answer here with their bats when they come up in the bottom of the first.
And coming into today, this was exactly what we expected, a slugfest. William Penn hitting .352 on the road. CMU, a .416 batting average in their friendly confines. In Game 1, it was all Eagles. Right now, the Statesmen looking to get some payback. Froyman Ortega ahead 1-0. And make that 2-0 on the senior from Venezuela. Ortega, the oldest player in the Statesman team at 28 years old. He's ahead 3-0.
Well, and interesting, there's only been one time where Morales has given up 4 or more earned runs in a start this season. He's normally able to keep the runs at a minimum. Bullpen may have to be ready for CMU here today.
Gets a friendly call, Morales. And Ortega will have to retrieve a little bit.
He walked back and gave the umpire the good old, "Are you serious?" look.
And he was serious. Hitters count. Blasted into left field. Gets down for at least a single. And accompany that with an RBI. Keone Young, the 4th run of the game. And the 28-year-old of Ortega safely at first.
And already an early mound visit for CMU. And listen, this is just the way the ball rolls sometimes. More runs in this top half alone for William Penn than any of their previous 7 in Game 1. They've scored more runs in this inning than all of Game 1. You could tell there's some fire. You could tell that there's some energy from William Penn. Like you said, they've not won on this field on the road in over a decade. And so when you give team an inch, they take it a mile. We talked about the warning signs earlier when it was just 1-0. Now, William Penn taking advantage.
A chance to add on a couple more. Still with 2 away. Carlos Herrera, the next batter, due up.
Well, you talk about something else that's interesting. Only 1 walk combined for the CMU pitching staff in Game 1. In this inning, Morales already has 2. And those walks matter.
Swing and a miss. Evens the count at 1-1. That's something a coach will not like. If you get scored on because of walks. No, make the team earn it. Make those hitters have to chase for it. Herrera, a fly ball deep into left field. And the hitting parade continues for the Statesmen. A 3-run blast from the junior. It's a 7-0 lead in the first.
Well, I tell you what, the third base coach, which I'm going to think is Mike Laird, who's been in the business for 43 years. He's seen a lot. He just had a fist bump out there at third base when he saw that ball go over the green monster. The best possible start for William Penn, and already in arms got to get prepared for CMU in their bullpen. It feels like we've watched 2 different teams here in this first inning. Remarkable.
Here's a grounder to third. We'll get past Sapweedy and the shortstop of Proctor. The big bats have come with 2 away for William Penn, and it will continue.
Borderline stunning. After how Game 1 went, after CMU was in full control from Game 1, and he struck out north to start the game, Morales, everything looked fine. Then Bradley Soto hit a solo shot. And since then, it's been all Statesmen. All I could say is, wow.
They have batted it around. Here is Soto for his second AB of the game. Takes it outside for strike number one.
It's a good thing that CMU's offense is great, but I don't think they're going to get all of this back in one. This is unfamiliar territory.
And it will continue to pile on into the gap, left center field. That is trouble for Freeman. Runners at the corners for the Statesmen.
And now that arm's working quicker. This may be the only inning that Morales gets, and now you go back and you are so glad that Foster Seitz was able to go 6 innings and was able to throw that many pitches, because now your bullpen should be ready to go, and you're going to have doubleheader games like this. And I think they're going to pull Morales right here. Maybe, I think maybe the trainer's coming out. Maybe something up with Morales' arm. And that could be the reason why this inning has gone south for CMU.
7 runs already for William Penn. Morales not having his day so far on the mound. And we'll have to wait and see if it will be a pitching change, and that will be the case. A new arm for the Eagles as Morales fails to get past the opening frame. We'll tell you all about the new pitcher when we come back. Eagles looking for different fortunes as Alfred Ulloa, the Dominican native, looking to take over the mound. A senior at CMU. Not too many appearances for the right-hander, only 6 this year.
Yeah, major damage control here for Central Methodist. You got it at 7 right now, and you're hoping that your bullpen can really make some things happen. That starts with Ulloa right now. And William Penn has got to be feeling as confident as maybe they've ever felt against CMU. But you got to just keep it at 1 bad inning, and you know that the bats are capable of getting this all back.
There's the 3-0 right down the middle to Abraham Arroyo.
A lot of game left. You'd rather the 7 spot happen early, right? If there was to be one.
3-1 inside. The runner of Soto was on the move, but that's to no avail. It's a 5-pitch walk to open up Ulloa's account. Hector Dominguez. First pitch, just a bit too inside.
Feel like you got to get this out right here, or this could go from bad to really bad. If you could get this out, you just pick up a little bit of momentum.
Dominguez, a .410 hitter on the season. That's a big reason why he's the cleanup spot.
Good work here, though, from Ulloa. He's got him down. 1-2. This is where you got to make your best pitch count. Again, unfamiliar territory. I don't know if CMU's been down 7 this whole year.
1-2. Us being just a little bit too low. Well, and the Eagles, fair to say, they are being very heavily battle tested. You talked about it. They're not used to being this down in the game, especially not in the first inning. But there is Ulloa coming in relief, and after issuing a walk to the first batter he faced, gets Dominguez to swing at high cheese, and that will put an end to the top of the first. William Penn, they're having some fun right now. 7 runs in the opening frame. Eagles looking to respond. The Eagles have some ground to make up, and Valentin Serna Jr., the second baseman, will be the first to face Drayden Levine in the circle for the Statesman. 5'10" senior out of West Burlington, Iowa is Levine. 3-2 on the season. Down here at Ray, just over 7. But with a 7-run cushion, he's got some room to operate.
Well, he's got some room to operate, but when you see the stats, that should encourage CMU, right? 7.3 ERA, that means the pitcher is making at least a couple of mistakes. I mean, CMU scored 14. They had a 6-run inning themselves. It just came at the end and ended up being kind of just a little pat-on and consolation. But now every run matters, and I think William Penn has gotten the Eagles' attention.
Here's the bouncer to first. Dominguez, no problem. There's one away. Serna still looking for that first hit of the entire day. A rare stat to see from someone who's hitting .359 on the year coming into today. Kyle Williams, first pitch hacking. Fouls it opposite field. Williams' batting average, not too shabby by any means. 379 for the senior. Leads his team with 10 doubles, has 1 triple as well, 21 RBIs, as he's down 1-2.
Yeah, and you're going to need a team effort here in game number 2. This is a great test for CMU, right? Winning by 9, 10 runs every single game, yeah, that's all nice. But this is where you'll really find out the character of a team. When you're down by this much and you know you can come back, you'll learn if this team is capable of it.
Check swing, they'll call it a full swing. And the first strikeout of the day for Levine. Tanner Sears looking to keep the inning alive for CMU. Goes after the first one he sees. And Herrera the throw. And it's a 1-2-3 starts for Levine in the circle. And William Penn, so far so good after one, 7-0 lead. Here's Auden leading things off against Alfred Ulloa. Oh, for 3 in game 1. Played left field, Zach Auden. I think one at bat he would like to have back is leaving the bases loaded back in game 1. 3 left on base. Swings at the fastball, goodbye, 1-2.
Let's see if William Penn can keep this offensive pressure up. A couple more runs, then you get down to a 9-10 run lead. You want to make this an insurmountable advantage if you're William Penn in these early innings. And if you're CMU, you got to play just about perfect defensively here. And you got to hope the bats come alive. Really good start, though, from Levine for William Penn in game 2.
Popped up. Couple Eagles will watch it go foul.
Sun's starting to set here. A couple clouds in the sky. Wind is still carrying, and it is carrying out. Already saw a home run in the first inning from Bradley Soto. We'll probably see more.
2-2, swing and a miss. Ulloa picks up his first K. Make that second K in the circle. There's one away.
Sometimes you just need that calming presence in the circle. No one has put a ball in play yet on Ulloa, and he came in. It's tough circumstances. He probably got maybe 5, 6, 7 warm-up pitches in before they pulled Morales. He looks like he's been warming up for a half hour the way he's pitching right now.
Hey, if you've got it, you've got it. One warm-up pitch, 10, 30. Ujoa's looking good.
It goes back to that old adage that you always got to stay ready. Like that's something that baseball coaches will say to their players all the time. You always have to stay ready, and I think that shows in a game like this. Here, you always have to stay ready no matter the situation, and teams who have players that stay ready, they are normally successful.
1-2, they count on the junior. Has some World Series experience and the JUCO rankings with Southern Nevada. But in his second AB of the game, takes a look and a called third strike.
What a response by CMU's pitching. After you give up 7 runs on 7 hits, what do? 3 consecutive strikeouts. Alfred Ujoa putting on a show here in game 2. Apparently no one's hitting him.
And Ed Perez will try and be the first to get a hit against the Dominican. Sees the 1-1 sail past Sears. 2 balls, 1 strike.
And this game does have a lot of impact and importance when it comes to the Heart of America conference standings. Got Grandview's at 12-1. Central Methodist is 2 games back right now, and they struggled a little bit in their series against Mid-America Nazarene. They need some of these games to go their way. They can't afford to have a poor game here and a poor game there against a team in William Penn that is behind them. They've got to beat the teams that are behind them so that they can move up the rankings.
Well, and the expectations are high for CMU. I mean, you're ranked number 24 in the nation in NAIA. Of course, they started at number 10 in the preseason poll. They've struggled a little bit for their standards, but they won the conference last season, made it all the way to the national tournament. Coach Nate Braylon is expecting a lot of great things from his dudes, as he likes to call them.
His dudes.
He loves saying
Love
that.
that. And that's a good thing, because that's something the players like. And again, holding your dudes to a high standard is always going to be good. And it's been the success of CMU in years past. They have been one of the premier programs in the Midwest in the NAIA. And they want to keep continuing that. But every team wants a piece out of them, William Penn included.
Roymer Ortega, 1-1 in the count. The senior from Venezuela is down 1-2. Last year, a letter winner in the Hart Conference. Missed the last year is against Missouri Valley, and it'll be a balk called against Alfred Ujoa.
It does become interesting. Again, they have not put a ball in play on Ujoa yet, so how that shakes things up here is important. You got to put something in play normally in order to score a run.
The 1-2 to Ortega. Off-speed pitch, misses wide. Maybe you might start getting this feeling where Ujoa is trying to be a bit too perfect. He knows that they're still yet to put a ball in play. Maybe he's looking for 4 straight Ks. And that could be dangerous. But when you're the Dominican, it won't matter. 4 up, 4 down. All via the strikeout for Ujoa. It's 4, 5, and 6 to up for the Eagles. Ryan Mazan, Carlos Negron, and Darius Freeman all set to hit in the second inning. Masahan almost hitting head coach Nate Breland. Bit of acrobatics.
Almost got hit by one of his dudes.
Yeah.
Right there. Yeah, Breland falling onto the ground, kind of having to sit down to make sure he avoided that.
I thought he'd be looking to make a play under it.
Come on now. You practice what you preach.
Almost had a second chance of redemption, but he was smart enough to step a little bit behind it before the pitch came.
Yeah. And it's good that the head coach is a little loose right there. By the way, congratulations to Nate Breland. 400 wins at CMU. His winning percentage is off the charts. So it's not just one great season. Every season is great.
The 4-time Hard Conference Coach of the Year. He knows what he's doing here at CMU.
You can't really question a guy like Breland anymore. And all he has to do is point to his wins and his accolades.
There's a swing and a miss by Mazan. He goes down for the first time tonight. One retired for Levine.
I love the way that Drayton Levine has kind of come onto the mound. It was a disaster finish for William Penn, especially their pitching in Game 1. And for Levine to come in and steady the ship, I'm impressed, but he's got to be able to do it for a full game.
No walks, no hit allowed as of yet. Here's Carlos Negron trying to be the first base runner for CMU. And he will be. He has to be thankful for that elbow guard.
It ricocheted right. It sounded like it hit his bat, didn't he, on the hit by pitch? But because it hit his elbow guard, it had a strong smack sound right there. Hey, that's a start right there for CMU. Now the umpires are going to get over and talk about this. And yes, he is safe at first.
Yep.
I think they had the same confusion as we did right there. I thought it might have fouled off the knob of his bat, but it didn't. And now you got Mr. On Base, Darius Freeman, to the plate.
Yeah, Michael Aird wanted an explanation from the crew chief. I don't blame him. When you hear that sound, you think otherwise in terms of did it really hit the player. Darius Freeman 2 for 3 in Game 1 of this doubleheader. 3 RBIs for the senior out of Kansas City. Takes the 0-1 for a called strike. Only 14 strikeouts on the season for Freeman. Has a good eye. First ball of his AB.
And the way that Freeman mixes between hitting and also plate discipline. He knows when he gets on base, he's going to be able to steal. He's going to be able to force the fielding into some trouble. But he'll also swing the bat when he needs to.
9 stolen bags on the year. Transfer out of the University of Northern Ohio. We kind of joked about it in the earlier game. Whoever hits after him almost has a for sure RBI with the speed that Freeman has on the base pass.
And once again, it's Whitehurst. But suddenly, for the first time today, you're sort of depending on these guys to get it started. Because you don't want to go into the third or the fourth inning and suddenly find yourself down 7-0. You want to cut into this a little bit now when you can.
The 1-2, a bouncer to first. Dominguez will get the force out at second. But Freeman, for the 4th time today, gets on board.
Well, now I think your mind starts going to, okay, let's start to try to force some runs home. Maybe if one run gets home, then we could start building it a little bit. I would not be surprised if Freeman is aggressive on the base pads here. He stole 2 bags in game 1.
First pitch to Whitehurst. It's a called strike, and Drayden Levine has been exceptional in getting ahead in the count. That's a big factor as to why he's had so much success early on. Throw the first. Freeman a head first slide. Safely in there. And that's huge as a pitcher when you're the one dictating the at-bats, not the other way around.
Yeah, controlling the pace. And Drayton has done, like you said, an exceptional job at that.
Runner on the move of Freeman to throw off target by North. 10th stolen bag for the senior.
So now you're in a position where if Whitehurst could just put a ball in play, get that first hit for CMU, you start to get the swagger back.
Here's the 1-2 by Levine. Whitehurst fights it off.
And I'll say this, Maduelo, the starter in game 1 for William Penn, threw a lot of off speed. And Drayton Levine is fast and furious. Lot of fastballs thrown in there. And I think CMU, you could see they're having a little bit of trouble adjusting to it.
This one was an off speed. Just failed to clip that outside corner. That's another thing that Whitehurst can use to his advantage. Kind of expecting the fastball maybe 80% of the time when Freeman is on board. He goes to third. Hammered to the right side. But will land amongst the trees and foul.
I like the idea to try to get him to steal third in this spot. Because if he does, then you're throwing the field into a little bit of chaos right now. And you start thinking about the runner at third instead of, it's 2 outs, just get the out at first.
Levine's 2-2. Runner on the move to throw to third. And Freeman slides in there safely. Back-to-back stolen bases for Darius Freeman. And now it goes back to what you were talking about, some chaos getting built.
Well, the advantage is if there is a pass ball, maybe Freeman can come home. And maybe Whitehurst could force a walk here. That would bring Weedy to the plate. He had a great game 1.
Payoff pitch with 2 away, lined up the middle. And Whitehurst will get the job done. He 1-2, slides safely after the miscue at center field by Soto. First run for CMU and Whitehurst standing at second base.
Yeah, they'll count it as an error on the center fielder Soto. But just like we built up here in the broadcast booth, how they wanted to make that at-bat. Remember, when Freeman started, or when Whitehurst started that at-bat, Freeman was at first. Then he stole second. Then he stole third. It took Levine's mind off of the hitter, and then Whitehurst on a big full count pitch made him pay, and CMU looks like they might be in business. Can they build on that? I love the aggressive base running by Whitehurst. Yeah, are they taking a second to get the ball in? Take second base. That's the aggression the Eagles need.
Here's Seb Weedy. Thought about chasing, held back. Weedy 2 for 3 in the earlier game. 2 RBIs for the senior.
I'll say that once again, Whitehurst, 4 RBIs on all of them. He's batted in Freeman.
That's got to be his best friend right now. And Weed gets a piece of that one into center. He wants extra bases, trying for a double head first slide. He's in there. Second run of the game for CMU, and with 2 away, the bats are now starting to get going for the Eagles.
Well, you knew they would, right? I mean, we're talking about a team that loves to score and loves to score often, a team that scored 20 or more runs on 3 different occasions. I think Levine's been pretty good, but you're going up against one of the best offenses in the conference. Good sometimes just isn't enough. And the bottom of the order today, for CMU. How about them? They have been, all of them have been exceptional. And they have built momentum. They have built the energy. And even though it's still a 5-run game, you could feel Central Methodist taking a little bit of the momentum back.
This Eagles team at home hitting just under 40 points shy of 500 at 460 on the year. Proctor founds it opposite field, 1-1.
And it's hard to beat this team at home. 5-0 now at home on on the season so far. And like we said, and we'll keep burning this stat, William Penn has not won here in more than a decade at Estes Field.
1-1 to Proctor. Doesn't get the call. 2 balls, 1 strike on the senior out of Virginia.
And I will say from a Williams Penn's perspective, it feels like the zone has shrunk a little bit on Levine in this inning, and that has played to CMU's favor.
As a coach and as any player, what you want from your umpires is just consistency. You know, maybe they give you a call here, a call there, that you're not really happy with that. If you're going to give them one call, do it the entire game. Opposite field power lined into rights, but coming on it is Arroyo to recall it for the 3rd out of the inning. But the offense starting to pick up for CMU. 2 runs in the bottom half of the 2nd. It's William Penn still with a 5-run lead. Carlos Herrera will begin the top of the 3rd with a big cut. And Ulloa ahead in the count. No balls, 1 strike.
That right there was a momentum-changing 2nd inning. Now, not everything can change in 1 inning, but you saw Ulloa take control, take command on the mound for CMU defensively. Then the offense gets involved, and, great hitting by Jeb Ziti and Gavin Whitehurst to put CMU on the board.
It's kind of that perfect combination, that cherry on top when you have Ulloa, sitting down hitters left and right, and then your offense is slowly starting to creep in. That's what you want to see. There's a 1-2. Check swing, they'll appeal it. And Herrera will stay alive. One for one on the game. The New York native. 2-2, skies it up. Might not be playable. And that'll be the case. Goes over the fence. 2-2. Lifted in the air. Proctor calls for it. And skied a mile high, but the shortstop of Dominic Proctor had no problem for one away.
It's a good opportunity here to take a look at a couple of scores within the Heart of America Conference. Mid-America Nazarene did win today. They beat Missouri Valley 17-6 at home. They also won the second game. How about some offense? 22-15 in 7 innings. So a football score for Mid-America Nazarene. So they won 2. Grandview did beat Clark, Iowa, 11-6 in Game 2, and they won 11-10 against Clark in Game 1. So the top 2 teams in the Mid-America Nazarene, or pardon me, Heart of America Conference, they held serve. So now it's up to CMU to keep the pace here, and they need to keep it with a win.
Mid-America, one of those teams that they have just been exceptional as of late, especially this season. You know, they took 3 out of 4 against CMU. The Eagles did have a slugfest in Game 1. Took that one 21-2, but after that, the Pioneers held their own. There's a first strike from Ulloa in this AB. North sees another one. Count full.
Well, and you think about it a little bit, don't you? In this situation with how the season's already gone, you feel like they've got to be just about perfect here, CMU, down the stretch as we head into April. They're playing April, Missouri Valley. Those are teams you want to beat. And, whoa, there's some coaches not happy with the strike zone there.
The umpire kind of thought about calling a third strike, hesitated, and then issued for it to be called a ball.
I believe that was one of the assistants, maybe.
And now Nate Breland having awarded the home plate official.
He was hot. He was hot. Tell you what, discipline from the umpire not to let him go there, because he very well could have. But you know how important of a play that is with Bradley Soto coming to the plate. He's already homered and singled today.
Takes a 1-0 outside. Gets past the glove of Tanner Sears. All the way to the backstop. North will make his way to second. Now it gets a little bit more complicated, and it goes back to how big that call really was. Now you have a runner at second, 1 away. The Eagles will argue it should be 2 outs, and the base is cleared. Two 2-1 to Soto. Fouls it off. Are you a fan of the umpire robots that they've been speculating?
Great question. Great question. I think that takes human error out of the game, and human error is important. Perfection cannot be achieved in sports, and especially in officiating.
Swing and a miss. Ulloa picks up his 5th strikeouts.
And I will say, with the robot umpires, yes, you wish you had them, but it takes some of the fun out of baseball. And by the way, we should give credit to the fact that the umpires get 99% of those ball strike calls correct, and especially at the big leagues, those guys doing it for a living. It's not easy, but it's necessary. Now, I am in favor of the challenge. I think the challenge, it kind of gives you a tennis feel where you can challenge if a ball was in the zone or not, but that cannot be universal like the pitch clock can, because it's hard to implicate that at a collegiate level, at the NAIA level. So, listen, there's always going to be flaws with sports. You can't solve every single flaw. Sometimes those flaws are good things, and normally you're not feeling in every single baseball game you see thinking, oh, you need robot umpires. You don't think that every single time. You just think it whenever there's a bad call. So, in my opinion, in conclusion of my TED Talk, no.
Wait, I totally agree with you. I'm all for not having them. It takes kind of the beauty off of sports.
It does.
You want to have that ship. You want to have those types of conversations, between coaches, umpires, not on the same page.
It adds to the story of the game.
3-1 count for Abraham Arroyo. Make that 4 balls and a strike for the Puerto Rican. Gets issued the walk.
It's interesting. We've got 2 pitchers here for CMU today. Morales, he walked 2 in his start, but things just went disastrous afterwards because Morales was giving up hits. Well, Ulloa has been able to keep his walks at a minimum for the most part and deny hits. So now Dominguez comes back in another big spot for him. Just like it was in the first inning, he left the bases loaded, struck out. Can he get some redemption against Ulloa?
The 0-1 to the cleanup hitter. Left upstairs. Even counts. Dominguez, a 19-game hitting streak. And it will continue. Rips it into left field. 1 run will come in to score for William Penn. And they take an 8-2 lead in the third. Hector Dominguez having himself quite the day.
Well, what does that go back to? That ball 4 to Arroyo, right? And if that walk is not issued right there, Ulloa is in a much better spot. And now it goes back to damage control here. Give credit to William Penn. They, again, taking advantage. And making CMU work in this comeback attempt.
We said it time and time again. The walks prove costly. Zach Oden hasn't even counted at 1. 1 for 2, the left fielder. After an 0 for 3 performance in game 1.
Now he's down 1-2. Got to get him here. Got to get him. Another 2-strike count as well, which William Penn has hit well with 2 strikes today.
1-2. Almost clipped him in the helmet.
That was not the 1-2 offering they were looking for there.
Neither William Penn or CMU. Let's see if this one is. Not quite. Full counts.
Well, now your runner from first, Dominguez, is on the move. And you just got to play it straight up. Try to get the out at first. But if Otten gets a hold of one, could store 2.
Full count. Here's the payoff pitch. Runner goes, and it will matter. Misses downstairs, and Zach Otten draws the walk. That third out has been so difficult to get for CMU, not just in the second game, but even in the first late today. The damage from William Penn usually has come with 2 away.
2 outs, 2 out rallies, 2. When a team can get 2 out rallies going, that is sweet. Because it's that part of baseball. You are that close to finishing this inning. They stranded the bases loaded in the first. Can CMU do it again in the third?
Line foul by Keone Jung. His dugout better watch out. You ever been inside a dugout during a live game?
Yes, back in the past, but I've not remembered it. Actually, it was, but it was sort of a celebratory game over the summer. And it's so much different than what you see here in the press box. Everything's happening at 5 miles. It's happening so quicker, but you also feel like you're right on top of the game. You have an impact.
0-2. Bouncer to second. There is Cerna Jr., but the play at first not being made. Runners going wild for William Penn. Here's the throw home, and the third run cannot come across.
Wait a second. A lot of stuff going on here.
And some extra caliber after the play at home. And it looks like the initial call was ruled out. But both teams wanting not just a word with the umpire, but a word with each other.
Well, the umpires are going to get together for a couple things here. First of all, is the runner safe? The ball dropped out of Tanner Sears' glove after he applied the tag. Sears thinks the inning's over.
And I did see the home plate umpire issuing safe
right afterwards. But then the umpire's direction or attention was focused on breaking up a potential brawl right there.
But now they are telling Mike Lair that the call is out. And the William Penn skipper not happy. Nate Breland creeping in to have a word as well.
And the runner at second, I think, might have gotten injured on that play. The trainer went out to check on him. What a bizarre finish to the inning. I don't think the umpires still know the full decision.
We've had a lot of firsts today.
It looks like they're going to uphold the call of out. That is huge for CMU. But still, a big error on the right side from Serna allows two more. Credit Tanner Sears for taking some contact to get that final out. That could have been a disaster. Now you got to pick up the pieces if you're the Eagles.
If this game wasn't interesting enough for you, I'm sure it is now. 10-2 lead for the Statesmen. We head to the bottom of the third. After quite the fun way, so in the visitors' half of the third, Valentin Cerna Jr. will get us started in the bottom.
Well, if CMU wasn't fired up already, now they're fired up for sure, and so is William Penn. You're seeing these two teams. I'm not sure if it's their best baseball, but I can confirm they are playing as hard as possible right now. This game two of this doubleheader, which has gone a lot different than we expected, is suddenly become very interesting.
Esteban Velez, Matt Clark with you guys. It's been a fun one so far. If you like hitting, this is the game for you. We said it since game one.
Yeah. Well, I also think the fire started in the first inning with the 7 runs. Ujoa was pretty hyped after every single strikeout, so of course that didn't go well with William Penn. The Statesman dugout was chanting against the Eagles dugout. I mean, nothing vulgar, but chanting against them. And then the umpire got the little controversial ball 4 call, and then the play at the plate. It built. The tension just built.
There's a swing and a miss by Valentin Serena. Still looking for his first base hit in his last 5 ABs. And this is the type of thing that you can't have with robot umpires.
That's true. We go back to that. We still have 5 innings to play. So just keep that in mind. And now if you're CMU, the focus has got to shift to trying to get Levine out of the game and get William Penn to use their bullpen. Bullpen for WP really struggled in game 1. So you're hoping to get to that if you're CMU.
Levine, a much better performance. Just over 2 innings. Does have 2 runs allowed, but he's kept this almost 500 batting average offense of CMU at bay for the most part. 1-2 the count on Kyle Williams. Spiked in the dirt. 2 balls, 2 strikes on the senior.
Williams 2 for 4. Runs scored and a triple in game 1, if I'm not mistaken. Trying to get on base for the first time in game 2.
Pops it up over to left field, but playable for Auden. Ranges to his right and has it for out number 2.
Well, you just talk about how things can change. Game 1 and game 2, I mean, CMU winning won comfortably in game 1, and in game 2, it's William Penn at this point winning comfortably. Same lineups for both teams. They only made a couple changes. The only change right now is for both teams really is on the mound and a couple of position players.
Line drive over the third baseman of Young. And with 2 outs, now CMU trying to rally. Tanner Sears gets himself a single.
Yeah, and Guest Jr. is going to pinch run for him. Something that I've always loved about Tanner Sears is no matter the score, he always stays consistent and his attitude stays consistent. You don't see Tanner Sears getting too emotionally up or too emotionally down. That's a veteran right there. That's a veteran's presence that you could feel. And that's important on a team. It's important to have emotional guys, yes, but also consistent players who are going to give you the same great play no matter the score.
He talked about him wanting to be a coach after his playing days are over. As a coach, that's exactly what he wants as well. Someone in his team with the mentality that right now he has for head coach Nate Breland.
And it's almost for Tanner Sears and almost a whatever kind of free spirit mentality.
On the move, Aaron Guest Jr. sliding in there safely. William Penn thought they had a for sure out at second.
Maybe not. And now the home plate umpire is getting some words from William Penn's dugout. So neither coach is too happy. I didn't see any of that in game 1. And the other thing about Sears, again, he just kind of has that freelance mentality that is okay. Remember, he was the one that was collided into at the end of the top of the 3rd inning. And he walked away. He didn't get into an argument with the catcher, with the runner, or the other players. He's just like, I got the out. I'm gonna walk back to my bench.
That's maturity. 5 years of college ball will do that to you.
And also, when you think about that call of the runner being out at home, I think when you think about it a little more, you think about the fact that Sears had the ball and had it firm into his glove as the runner collided with him. The collision was the reason the ball was dropped. So technically, you can could call some interference on that play, and that could be the reason why he was out. The runner was out and not safe.
Mazahan, a bouncer, a header to throw to first, gets him by a step. CMU's pitching dominance by Daniel Levine continues. 10-2, 8-run lead for the Statesmen.
To the 45, cuts across midfield, up the right sideline, stumbles, breaks the tackle, he's to the 20, to the 10, he is taking it into the end zone for a touchdown. Still caught down the line, and it's a line drive right down the line, running catch by Jolly. Field finds Henry, turns, shoots, hits it from the corner, the fading three.
You're like, oh.
New pitcher on the mound for CMU. It's the right-hander of Nicholas Neighbors coming in relief of Alfred Ulloa. 9 appearances for the Nashville, Tennessee native. 4 of those have been starts. 21 innings pitched, and that ERA spiking up a little bit more than what he would like. 9.28 right now for the junior. He will greet Pettis with a 3-pitch strikeout. And there's one away in the top of the 4th.
Yeah, the arms are starting. I mean, obviously it was a tough start for Morales, right? But Ulloa with 5 strikeouts. And how about Neighbors with the first strikeout to start his game? This is where you only need a couple good innings out of him. And you know what? The ERA may say, oh, he's not the best pitcher. But right now, CMU's just trying to find an answer because the Statesman offense is hitting everybody in sight. So maybe Neighbors is the answer. The good news is they got plenty of arms to figure this out here as we enter the top of the 4th.
Former Ortega fouls that one away. I mean, Neighbors working quickly. Still yet to issue a ball. He's been ahead of both batters faced so far.
He did give up 4 runs against Clark on the road in William in Central Methodist. Only lost last weekend in Iowa. Lost that game 7-5.
Back-to-back strikeouts for Neighbors. There's 2 away.
Oh, and you talk about it. You talk about wanting some revenge, wanting to get back on the mound and make a difference after a tough game like that in Iowa last weekend. You get the week to kind of sit back, think about it a little bit, but Neighbors is coming out with a revenge mentality.
Waves the first one right past Carlos Herrera. The Puerto Rican native, 1 for 2, 3 RBIs in this second game. Three for 3 Neighbors in terms of getting ahead of batters he's faced. 0-2.
Tell you what, you don't see very many batters with a hood on, or like a hood on the back of their long sleeve uniform, but that's exactly what Herrera's got. I would think that he'd be going short sleeve now. I feel like the weather's gotten a little warmer. Back in February, though, I completely understand.
Right.
It was cold last month.
First ball thrown by Nicholas Neighbors. Took him 9 pitches to do so.
Working real quick. Felt like with Morales, he worked quick but was giving up hits. With Ujoa, he was working slow, giving up runs. Now you got the perfect mix here in Neighbors.
He's got dinner plans tonight. Reservation somewhere. But those will have to wait. A liner right back down the middle into center field. And it's a 2-out single for North.
Where do you think he's got reservations in Fayette? Wherever it is, he's going to have to extend his reservation a little 5 minutes. Call him back in the dugout and say, hey, I got a couple more innings to pitch.
Yeah. Maybe he's making a little 35-minute drive to Como.
That's true.
Who knows?
True. Plenty of great places to eat in both cities, I might add. I think this is a classic example today of why big innings matter. And William Penn has the big inning right now. You take that inning out of it, it's 3-2. But big innings matter. You just can't give them up, especially in collegiate baseball.
The 1-0, a bouncer. No problem for Proctor. A short, he'll tag the bag himself and take it in for out number 3. So Nicholas Neighbors not messing around. Faces 4 batters, 3 outs. We'll head to the bottom of the 4th. You've learned a little bit about Puerto Rico so far. You might learn some more with Carlos Negron at the plate. It depends how he does.
yeah. Well, okay. So, so we got bottom of the 4th, 10-2. This is a good opportunity to talk about Puerto Rico a little bit. And, by the way, if Carlos Negron is any indication of Puerto Rican natives and how they act and how they treat other people, he is top quality. And got to see him over the summer, cover him over the summer. Played a couple weeks up at Chillicothe when I covered the Mudcats. And he couldn't have been a nicer person. He gives me a peaceful vibe. Not, again, kind of like Tanner Sears. Not too up, not too down, but always focused. And I love that about Carlos. Now, Esteban, Puerto Rico is your home nation. What are some fun facts about Puerto Rico that people don't necessarily know? And would Carlos know these fun facts?
I think one that gets overlooked a lot is we're U.S. citizens. As Carlos Negron, maybe not the best time to talk about it now that he goes down, but 4 pitches, he goes down looking, there's one away. But a lot of people don't know that, Puerto Ricans are U.S. citizens. A lot of the time I come over here, they're like, oh, so you're international.
Right.
And that's understandably so. I mean, I probably wouldn't know so if I was born in the U.S.
Now, how many Puerto Ricans go and try to move to the 50 states? Or a lot of them decide, okay, we'll stay at home, or we'll stay where we grew up?
I would say it's a 60-40 split. Maybe 65-35 in favor of wanting to come to the U.S.
Nice.
Primarily more job opportunities,
Mm-hmm.
better lifestyle in a sense. But some people, they just, absolutely love Puerto Rico. And I love my island, right? But in terms of living, I kind of prefer the U.S., and that's where, Puerto Rico's taking that shift right now.
There's got to be some differences between Fayette, Missouri, and your hometown in
Oh.
Puerto Rico.
Here's a grounder to second. Ortega the first, 2 up, 2 down. Well, for starters, there's no beaches anywhere around here.
Oh, what? You're shocking me with that one.
I don't know if you've noticed, but, you have to make a pretty far drive to find some palm trees, sand, ocean. Puerto Rico, where I live, hometown, Carolina, 10-minute drive, and you're basically at the beach.
Do you miss the beach?
I rarely went when I was in Puerto Rico, surprisingly. Gavin Whitehurst, and even count at 1. I'm just not a fan of the sand.
Not a fan of the sand. So sand volleyball would not have been your sport.
When I was younger, no. Now I can kind of like it more. Because I would, for example, last summer I spent in Florida. I would kind of want to go to the beach on purpose for the first time in my life.
Yeah.
I met a couple friends at a baseball summer league, and I was like, you know what, let's go to the coast.
And you're going back.
Right.
Yeah, go. Hey, is that might be one of the reasons why you're going back down to Florida?
That's
this
part
summer.
of it. That'll play a big role.
Ironically enough, had the opportunities when you were young.
Yep.
And now you're searching for them. You're making them happen.
3-1, hitters count. Clips the outside parts. And it's a full 1 to Whitehurst.
Unfortunate situation here. This time Whitehurst does not have Freeman on base. I don't think we've rarely seen that today.
He's not used to that. He's kind of looking around the base pass like, where is he? Count will remain.
And also, when you see that, you do think that's got to mess the hitter's eye up a little bit. Because normally, the infield's playing different when there's a guy on base. But with so when Whitehurst is looking out of the infield and looking at the pitcher, it looks a little different with no runners on base. That could change how the hitter approaches a count.
The 3-2 lined into right. And whether Freeman is on base or not, Gavin Whitehurst continues his clinic here today.
I will say, I think that's the best way to describe it. And consistency. We talked about consistency with Tanner. We talked about consistency with my man Carlos. And now consistency with Whitehurst. Now you need to have consistency across the order in an inning. I feel like CMU needs one of those big innings themselves right here. And we'll continue to say it. We know this team is capable of doing that.
Zebuidi back in the count. No balls and 1 strike to the third baseman. The junior takes it outside. I think consistency, going back to your point, is definitely key for any sport. And when you look at baseball, even the umpires. And I think both coaches might agree with me right now, considering what we've seen so far.
But things have calmed down here in the fourth. I will say that. And things kind of reached a boiling point. And once they reach a boiling point, you can either go higher or go lower. And things have started to simmer off. Whoever turned the heater on to the stove turned it off.
Whitehurst safely into second, standing up. No throw as the pitch got passed north behind the dish. Perfect time for Whitehurst to put on the wheels.
You also talk about consistency, but sometimes it's good not to be consistent. It's good to do something different, especially with CMU down 8 here. You need something different right now. And maybe First time Levine's opened the door a little bit here with losing some control. He has not walked a batter today.
Proctor on deck. Whitehurst at second. Here's the 3-2 to Weedy. Goes after it, elevates it. Sky high. I thought you called for it, but Soto had the last word. And there is the final out in the fourth. The Eagles still scrambling to get back in business. Down by 8 as we head to the fifth. Neighbors back in the circle. Begins the fifth inning with 1 ball, no strikes on Bradley Soto, who's 2 for 3 with an RBI and a strikeout. The junior out of Davenport, Florida. One of so many transfers, he made his way to William Penn via Cayuga Community College. A 1-1, and that's some pretty good framing by Sears.
Yeah, he's framed the outside really well today, Tanner Sears. He does it every single time. Sometimes gets the call, sometimes not. But when you have a catcher that could frame, that helps the pitcher. And then suddenly your zone is a little more open because you could trust your catcher to make it look like a strike. And they're setting up outside again here.
1-2. Soto staying alive.
We were talking a little bit after the break that this is only the second full scoreless inning, the fourth inning was, of this doubleheader so far. Offense has been alive. You want to keep the offense alive if you're CMU. That's the only way you could make the comeback. But good to see the pitching get back to business.
Doesn't get the call in that frame. Even at 2. Are you more of a pitching duel type of guy or just swing away and let them rip?
In terms of your offense?
In terms of game in general. Would you like to see a pitching battle or a slugfest?
A healthy balance of both, I think, is important. If you just see offense, then you can continue to ask yourself, where are the pitchers? And then you never know if you got a 5 or 6 or 7 run lead, if it could be maintained. But if you have pitchers duels, then every run matters. So a healthy balance of both is the best way to go about it, in my opinion.
Is that from a fan perspective?
Yeah, from a fan perspective and from a broadcast perspective, you know. Then the third run you score in a pitcher's duel seems even bigger. A third, if CMU scored their third run in the next inning, it doesn't seem that big because it's an offensive showcase, That's the best part about every single sport is that's why a lot of people have problems with the NBA. Is it's just way too offensively centered and it's just making every single three-point shot. There's got to be a mix.
Bradley Soto at first after the walk. Abraham Arroyo at the plates. A 1-1 count to the 0-for-1 hitter. Pickoff move to first. Nothing cooking. One, the off speed, and I thought you couldn't measure it.
Royal on the day so far, already 2 walks. The plate discipline has been better from William Penn, and Arroyo's been right at the center of it. Whenever CMU has walked batters, they have given up runs. Same with William Penn today, and that's how it works sometimes in baseball. And now you're ahead 0-2, or you were ahead 0-2. Got to finish this guy off. Maybe get a double play. Build some momentum here. Because right now the momentum feels as if it's at a standstill.
Soto at first, only 4 stolen backs on the season. He's trying for a 5th. The throw by Sears to second. Not in time. Almost a strikeout throw-out opportunity for CMU, but
well, I'm gonna stop you right there. It is a strike him out, throw him out. They're gonna say that Arroyo got in front of Sears, or the ball hits Sears' bat. Both runners are gonna be out, and Soto just got informed that there was interference by the hitter Arroyo on Sears' throw to second base.
Wow!
And so even though Arroyo was safe, the home plate umpire pulled everything back, called him out. So a double play in a bizarre way for the Eagles.
They'll take it any way they can.
Yes, they will.
Neighbors with a clean slate base-wise. No one on board.
And that's a little bit of luck that certainly favors Central Methodist there. Because now instead of 1 out and a man in scoring position, you got 2 outs and nobody on. And the 2 head coaches are actually over at third base talking about it on the line over there a little bit. They seem to agree for the first time.
That is definitely a first.
It wasn't a lot of argument from Mike Laird after that call was made. Now, the runner couldn't believe it, but it wasn't Bradley Soto's fault. It was Arroyo's fault. He was at the plate. Soto surely thought easy stolen base. Ball popped out of the second baseman mitt. Nope, you're out.
Dominguez, a bit of an awkward swing. Fouls it, keeps it at 1-2. That's the scenario you want when you are facing Hector Dominguez. No one on board, 2 away, and now for Neighbors you have him in a 1-2 count. When you're hitting .410, the opposing team, that's what you need. Neighbors gets his 4th strikeout. Dominguez goes down via the swing. And the Eagles with an opportunity to add some runs and cut down the deficit. They're down by a couple.
We'll refer to that as the official pronunciation of the conference here on the broadcast.
10-2 the lead for the visitors. We're trying to get their first win in CMU territory in over a decade. Glad you're with us. Esteban Velez, Matt Clark with you. As Dominic Proctor begins his bottom of the fifth with some extra bases, rounding first, and he has turned the Jets on. 1-3, but he'll stay put at second. It's a lead-off double for Dominic Proctor, and the Eagles right back in business.
Well, I was thinking during the break, the comeback has got to start now. 8 runs with only 9 outs to work with is difficult, but it is doable for this firepower offense from CMU. A leadoff double, the best way to get started. You got to find a way to get past Levine. I mean, he's been very efficient today. Levine just on 75 pitches. He's got some work to do. Can Levine for William Penn stay consistent here, or does he teeter off at the end? He's got a lot of cushion.
Something that CMU needs if they want to mount this comeback is for this guy at the plate, Valentin Serna, to get hot. Came into today hitting over 300, but 0 for 5 on the day.
And you're just thinking about, get the next guy on base. Get the next guy on base. What's the old saying? Move the line.
Little pass the baton action.
Yes. A relay race.
Yeah, we had a couple of those here today.
Yeah, I know the track meet happened. But tell me a little bit about that. You were at the track meet today. How'd it go for CMU?
CMU did great. A couple national qualifiers for the Eagles. They are more than happy with it. Got to see a couple of people from my alma mater as well. Pretty fun day overall, and they'll do it again tomorrow.
And some of those players and athletes came to watch this game too, which is really cool, right? Athletes supporting athletes at a school. That matters. And that just goes to show the great health that the student-athlete community has here with each other.
Right.
Here in Fayette.
That's kind of what you get from most of the smaller schools, whether it's D2, NAIA, D3, whatever it is, that tight-knot community. It's a fun place to be in.
And you get to experience it firsthand, which is awesome.
The 2-2 misses wide. And the counter 1 full on Valentin Serna Jr.
Set it in the top of the bottom of the 4th. No walks today for Levine. Gonna try to avoid one here.
Hit into left. Will it get down? Yes, it will. Valentin Serna Jr. has extra bases himself. Head first slide into second. And the third run of the game for the Eagles comes across in Dominic Proctor. Making just a 7-run lead for William Penn. No one away in the bottom of the 5th.
Well, I'm looking at the stats right here, and that is the first, or that only the second time in this game where the Eagles have gotten back-to-back hits, and they do it through the bottom and the top of the order. Proctor didn't play in game 1. He had a little bit of trouble. He comes into game 2 and gets going, and then Serna finally breaking his drought, doing it the right way, and that is facing adversity and battling, and he finally got his wish. Great piece of hitting on a 3-2 count. That's where William Penn has been great in this game, and where CMU has struggled. Serna switching that around right now. There's the momentum that CMU needed. Hitting is contagious, Esteban.
Kyle Williams, the senior out of Texas, will look to continue the hit parade. Levine maybe starting to feel some more pressure.
Well, now his pitch count's up to 82, and he doesn't have an out in the 5th. How much longer can Levine go? Can he shake that off?
Skied in the air, but out of play. As Young gave chase, but to no avail.
There are not many teams that could see themselves being down 7-0, be down 10-2, and feeling like they still have a chance at a comeback. But CMU is so good that they are in that position right now.
Line to left, carried a little bit too much for round number 1. But Valentin Serna slides into third in a productive AB for Kyle Williams. One away.
Will say that's unlucky right there. Hit straight to Arroyo. You hit that into the gap, it's a double or a triple. Now you need your veteran, your main man here, Tanner Sears, to do his job. He's an RBI merchant. He's looking for another one right here.
Some action in the William Penn bullpen. A right-hander warming up for the Statesman. But Levine right now just doing everything in his power to, at the very least, finish this 5th. Here's Tanner Sears, 1 for 2. No RBIs as of yet for the 5th-year senior in the second game after picking up 1 in the earlier slates.
And by the way, Sears, who has played so many games on this field, starting to count down. He's only got a couple home series left. And so I'm sure that affects him. I've talked to him about that before, and he says, I don't want to think about the future after college baseball just yet.
Check swing. They'll appeal it. And they say he held up, much to the dislike of William Penn and primarily Drayden Levine in the circle.
Yeah, maybe it's just me, but I didn't think he went around there. I thought he just checked his swing enough. It's so hard to do, especially on an inside pitch, to check your swing. But the umpire making the call is at second base. Tougher for him to do it there.
2-1, showing some oppo power. But tails foul, 2-2.
You get a big swing here from Sears or Malzahn or Negron. You've got, all 3 of those guys are capable of taking 1 yard. Then you really smell a comeback.
2-2 by Levine. Got him. Outside corner, gets the call. And Tanner Sears goes down looking for the first time today.
Well, how about Drayden Levine taking a page out of Bob Ross's book there. Painting the corner on such a massive pitch against one of CMU's best hitters. He froze him. Very impressive. After giving up back-to-back doubles, we were wondering, how does he respond after that? He responded in the right way, let me tell you. But his day might be done. They're going to the mound to have a meeting here.
Jaron Schaefer, the assistant coach for the Statesman, will have a talk with Drayden Levine. You got 2 outs, right? You do have a runner at third, but you go back to that 7-run lead. Really, Levine shouldn't be facing too much pressure right now in the circle.
No, he shouldn't, and I think maybe that's the conversation. Just remember the score, right? Remember how much room you have to work with. It's okay if Levine makes a mistake there or mistake there. He just can't let those mistakes pile up, and that's exactly what happened to CMU in the top of the first. They let their mistakes pile up.
Here's Ryan Mazan in the number 4 hole, and Drayden Levine has had success with this middle of the order. Mazan 0 for 2, Negron on deck 0 for 1, and Freeman in the 6th hole. No hits in 2 attempts.
And so it's up to the hitters to adjust, right? Because what Levine's doing is working.
I don't think too many pitchers can flex off that stat line against 4, 5, and 6 from a team that's hitting over 350.
Mm-hmm. And this will be a start for Levine to remember. And not someone that was highly touted, hasn't had a standout season for William Penn, but sometimes starters just come up and they're ready to pitch. That's what Drayden Levine has done.
The 2-1, it gets hit into left, and it's an RBI knock for Ryan Mazan, 4th run for CMU.
And that's cutting into the lead a little bit more. Now you're in a situation where can you get a run for every out that you have to work with? That's what they've done. They've gotten 2 runs and 2 outs that they have to work with. Now you've got 6 runs to catch, 7 to work with. In a comeback, great coaches say you can't just get it all back in one. So you got to have good innings like this in the 5th, 6th, and 7th.
Carlos Negron wanted to do the spectacular with that hack. No balls, 1 strikes to the Puerto Rican.
With these guys' averages, Negron and Freeman, they're bound to get on base at some point. Bound to.
One and one after Levine. Right, going back to that exact same pitch. Mazan on the move. The throw to second. Not in time. Ryan Mazan swats bag number 8 on the season.
Yeah. Bang, bang play right there. Malzahn, if he's a step slower, he's out. Now it's up to Negron to really make it count here. Struck out looking the last time he faced Levine in the 4th.
The 1-2, Levine trying to end the inning. Negron has other ideas. Oh my, the Puerto Rican Carlos Negron, a no-doubter to left. That is the power that the senior has been showcasing all season long, and it cuts the deficit into half.
That's exactly what they needed. We talked about it earlier in the inning. When you get one of these guys to just get a hit, and especially a 2-out rally like this, now CMU knows they can make this comeback. Levine makes his first poor mistake of the game, and Carlos takes absolute full advantage. That was way over the Green Monster. And pardon my Spanish here, but como se dice blast in Espanol, because that's exactly what it was for Carlos right there. And now a new pitcher comes in for William Penn. That got this crowd on its feet.
I love that Spanish. I love that phrase. I am the #1 fan for your Spanish.
Oh my gosh.
That will end the day for Drayden Levine on the mound. Carlos Negron takes him yard in a at least 4-run inning in the bottom of the 5th. New thrower, we'll tell you all about him when we come back. The lead down to 4 for William Penn. And the new pitcher of Aaron Oliveras will try and get them back to a more comfortable advantage.
Well, that time they called Freeman swinging around, and it goes back to They thought that Freeman didn't go around that time, but they got a fortunate call when Sears was at the plate earlier. So how about a bit of a makeup call there? Suddenly, things are starting to boil back up. We saw a rest. It was a little relaxing in the 4th inning and the top of the 5th. And then, my gosh, bottom of the 5th comes around. Carlos Negron hits a home run, and now people are on the edge of their seats here.
Sparks are starting to fly again here at Estes Field. The 0-2 in the dirt by Oliveras.
And remember what we said. You just get Freeman on base. Move the line. If Darius can get on base here, there's a chance Whitehurst could bring him in like he's done.
2-2.
And just looking at Olivares, his windup is slow. That should give an opportunity for hitters to steal on him if they get on base.
Full count to Freeman. Gavin Whitehurst in the on-deck circle. Here's the payoff pitch. Outside, wide. And the Eagles have another base runner.
Well, there was a big inning, right, for William Penn in the top of the 1st. And right now, CMU is having their big inning, and it looks like that is the only hitter Olivares is going to face, I think. They've got another pitcher coming in for Whitehurst, so Mike Laird playing a little bit of chess here, seeing that it wasn't working for Olivares. You know how big of an at-bat this is with Whitehurst coming to the plate and Freeman on base. That's been CMU's best mode of offense so far today.
He's playing some chess. I'm more of a checkers guy myself. Either way, it's a pitching change. New thrower when we come back. Joseph Taylor, the new pitcher for the Statesman. The 6'2 sophomore out of Hermit's, California. With 2 away, runner at first. And Gavin Whitehurst at the plate. Falls behind the designated hitter. 1 ball, no strike.
Freeman's already stolen 2 bases in Game 2 today. You expect him to maybe steal 1 here, put him in scoring position, give Whitehurst an RBI chance.
I think they're tuning into the broadcast.
Ha! Well, I think they know that, right? But the other thing to account for is this is a pitcher that just came in. He hasn't attempted a pickoff until that one right there. It could cause some chaos.
Whitehurst 2 for 2 continues his perfect day. A grounder to the right field line, and it will get Freeman all the way to third. Runners at the corners, and the hitting fiesta continues for the Eagles. Seb Weedy due up.
And you got a guy now in Weedy that has had success in Game 2 with this RBI double in the second inning and was great in Game 1. He had a home run, an RBI single, a walk and a run scored. He's a guy that's bottom of the order, is hard to get around, but this is the biggest at-bat that he's taken today.
Here's the first pitch to the third baseman. Offers at it to no avail. Down 0-1. Weedy transferred in from Ellsworth Community College. A South Dakota native. Takes the second pitch he sees. No balls, 2 strikes.
This is a reliever here that has come in relief a lot this season, and he's actually normally a starter. So they brought a starter in here to try to settle the ship.
Runner from first on the move, but it won't matter. Joseph Taylor, after allowing an initial single, strikes out Seb Weedy in 3 pitches and maintains the lead for the Statesman. It's a fun one here in Fayette. We'll head to the state.
The William Penn head coach.
We saw Mitchell make an appearance in the first game as a pinch hitter late as well. He got a base hit.
Mm-hmm. This is probably Neighbor's best outing so far this season. So can he keep that up? You can't have a bad inning here, only down 4.
Gets Mitchell a swing and miss. 2-2.
And now it feels like the game is within reach for CMU. Now they have 6 outs to work with. And they got some of their best hitters on the other side of the inning.
2-2, see ya. Blew the hitter with the fastball. Fifth strikeout for Neighbors.
You think about Neighbors a little bit here this season. It's not like the strikeout the strikeout has been his friend. Only 6 walks. The problem is that a lot of hitters have gotten big hits off of him, but when he's dealing, he's dealing with the strikeout. We've seen that today. He's got everything working right now, Esteban.
That's what the Eagles needed out of at least someone from their bullpen in this second game. Third pitcher for CMU, and they found a guy. Works his way back in the count. 1-1 against Keanu Young. For 2, the third baseman. Played his community college ball at Southern Nevada. In a team that was full of talent. Made it all the way to the JUCO World Series.
That slider's filthy. That slider from Neighbors is filthy, and I can guess that when he struggled, that slider has not been perfect. Tonight, when he's got the slider and the fastball, they complement each other, and it puts him in command on the mound.
Here's the 1-2. Tailing foul.
And I know Young got a piece of that, but even that slider, looked nice.
Seemed like a little off-balance swing. Even though he did stroke it pretty well. 1-2 for the second time. Upstairs. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
I'll also say this about Neighbors. He's from Nashville. I was actually in Nashville a couple weeks ago. It's shout out Nashville. It's just a great city. I'm sure he's been down in Broadway, had some fun there, but just a fun place to be at. He's trading that for a great city here as well in Fayette.
Muscles it to the right side. Still struggling to get it in play.
And you think about Nashville. It's a big city. Then you come to Fayette, small town, right? And so that's different. And how players live their lives, how athletes live their lives, it changes, right? But it's so good. And I'm fortunate to be able to be a part of a lot of these small towns here in mid-Missouri. And that's just a perfect place to be at, in my opinion.
2-2. Another fastball, another strikeout. Nicholas Neighbors untouched in this inning.
Nashville Nicholas, I guess, is the best way to put it. I don't know if you can make that into a nickname or not, but the man from Nashville is wheeling and dealing. Exactly what CMU needed right here. Now you got 2 outs, nobody on, some room to work with. Don't give up a home run in a situation like this. Get your bats back going, because they're hot now.
And Ed Perez fouls that one away. No balls, 1 strike. What were you in Nashville for?
Nashville for some broadcasting. SEC men's basketball tournament was there. So did it for a student radio station. And Bridgestone Arena, one of the top places to watch sports, really. Home of the Predators, NHL team. And now, of course, the NCAA basketball tournament is going on. March Madness. Did you fill out a bracket?
I filled out quite a few.
Quite a few. Are any of them doing good?
Well, the second chance brackets are doing pretty solid right now.
Get a better idea of the teams.
Yes.
In those brackets.
And the pool to choose from is way less.
Yeah. And I love the way that college baseball is a lot like March Madness, Double elimination, right? You could slip up and lose a game here or there. And I think that room for error is necessary in a sport like baseball. But you get the same sort of madness in collegiate sports.
Neighbors, what an inning. Says goodbye to the first, adios to the second, and again, Nashville, see you later to the third batter. It's a 1-2-3 for Nicholas Neighbors. We'll head to the bottom of the 6th. Here's a pinch hitter for the Eagles, Jack Pruitt, the junior catcher out of Saito, Missouri.
I'm actually going to do you one here. Cairo, Missouri.
Oh.
Not Cairo, Cairo, Missouri. Real small town up near Moberly. He went to MACC. Now he's up here at CMU, home of the Bearcats. I've actually had the pleasure of being in Cairo before. Not Cairo, Egypt.
There is a Cairo, Egypt?
Yes. That's a massive city in Egypt. Look it up. We talked about big towns and small towns today in Game 2. And there's also, funny enough, we talked about Nashville in the previous inning. There's a Nashville, Tennessee, but there's also a small town in Illinois called Nashville. So, just same name, much different cities and towns or whatever, but same name.
Geography major?
No.
Minor? Something with geography.
Oh,
Please
man.
tell me.
Business minor.
Hey, I'll take that one. At least you know the
I'm
cities.
flattered.
Yeah. At least you know the cities in which you can do business. It's a good way to tie it up. Two. Just wide. Full counts.
Neighbors is a great example of these small-town mid-Missouri guys that just make a story. And, I'm sure Neighbors was someone who did a lot at Cairo High School. And so to see those guys from 1A, 2A schools here in Missouri produce at this level is really cool.
Catch jammed. Keeps the hands inside. And the count full.
Or Pruitt. I guess I said Neighbors. Pruitt. He's also a catcher, so that may change some things in the order for CMU. 278 hitter this year, 1 home run, 7 RBIs.
Three, 2. And the hometown hero gets a walk. And CMU needed that one to begin this bottom half.
And they're going to pitch run for him. So, new pinch runner, too, if I'm not mistaken. And that'll be Proctor. Or Cerna to pinch run for him.
So Valentin Cerna at the plate, Dominic Proctor.
There we go.
A base runner at first, and Proctor has been doing just about everything today. He can field, he can hit, he can pinch run. He better have a good night's sleep. They'll need him again tomorrow. The throw to first. Proctor well alerts. No stolen bags on the season for the senior. Swing and a miss by Cerna. No balls, 2 strikes.
Now you got your top of the order here. Guys that do damage, every single one of them. And you need them to do damage. No room for error right now. You got to try to get a run or two here in the bottom of the 6th. Make it more comfortable in the 7th.
Foul tips it. Stays alive by an inch.
And I tell you what, Mike Laird for William Penn sacrificing a little bit here. I think Joseph Taylor could have probably started one of the 2 games tomorrow. But he's probably not going to be able to because of his work here tonight. They want to win this game.
0-2, catcher behind the plate. Didn't know where it was, and Proctor took advantage. A bit of a slip-up for North behind the dish. That's the aggressive base running that you want to see if you're Nate Breland.
And now you got a runner in scoring position with nobody out. Cerna doubled RBI in his last at-bat. More of the same here would be great.
Here's the 1-2. Cerna up the middle, fresh off his double, gets another RBI. A single and the 7th run of the game, and Dominic Proctor comes in for CMU.
Well, we were talking a little bit about Cerna, his story today. Someone that has been so great, but game 1 didn't go his way. Game 2 was not going his way, and then he answers the bell. Sometimes for these players, all it takes is one swing to change everything, And that one, he hit it right back where he came from. 2-strike hitting again from CMU. And suddenly, they just edge closer. Remember, it was 10-2 at one point, Esteban.
And we talked about it. We said Cerna had to get going if the Eagles wanted any chance to get back into this. That has been exactly the case. 2 RBIs in a double and a single for the second baseman.
And, well, it's tough also for the catcher North there. His passed ball allowed Proctor to get into scoring position, and that was the case for the RBI.
Kyle Williams grounds into a double play opportunity, but it will be difficult. And the throw by Ortega almost sails over the head of Dominguez. He is thankful for that 6'3" frame at first.
I was going to say the same thing. Thank goodness he was high enough. His wingspan's pretty big, so he was able to catch the ball, just barely kept his foot on the bag. That could have been disastrous. We've already seen a couple disastrous plays from the infield for William Penn in Game 1 whenever they let a routine pop-up just drop on the left side of the field. They can't have that right now.
Tanner Sears eyes a curveball to begin his at-bats. 4th of the day for the catcher. 1 for 3 performance as of now. Oh, 1 hammered into right center field. You can wave goodbye. Ay, Tanner Sears coming in clutch. And this has been an absolute slugfest and a treat to watch. 10-9, the game in the 6th.
Mr. Tanner Sears, the veteran for CMU. And I tell you what, a guy that doesn't show a lot of emotion was roaring as he rounded third base, stomping emphatically on home. He got all of that pitch. A big blast for big number 21. All of a sudden, it's a 1-run game. The comeback, Esteban, is almost complete.
5th home run of the year for the catcher. And it couldn't have come in a better time. Here's Ryan Masahan trying to continue the party. Skies it in the air. Leaves it in the infield. Tough play. But the third baseman of Young settles under it for out number 2.
Well, now you feel a little bit right. You've made it this far. You need this game to go in your favor. Don't come up just short. That's got to be the message. You're down to your final 4 outs, but you've got Negron, Freeman, Whitehurst, some great hitters. This is where CMU's got to show why they are a premier team in this conference. What a fun finish to our Friday night.
Couldn't get any better. Well, actually, it could with a victory, I'll tell you that.
Well, now you got Negron. And Negron got the better of Taylor in the 5th. Blasted one into left. Could he maybe do it again? And his swing really brought the belief, by the way. That home run, that's when you really felt the energy shift.
Curveball, just inside, maybe a bit low. You can see the first razor from Joseph Taylor. When you see a beautiful swing like the one Negron had in his prior at-bat, it's hard to not get belief on your side. If it goes back to Chillicothe this summer, actually, you won't be there. So if it goes to Northwoods this summer, to the Woodchucks by any rare chance, be prepared to see a couple of these.
Well, that last one, he almost hit back to Puerto Rico. I'm saying. Now he's got a 3-1 count.
In the air, gets under it. Arroyo calling for it, playable for the third out in the 6th. But we have been treated to a show 3 more runs in the bottom of the 6th, pushed by CMU. It's a 10-9 ball game. We head into the 7th. Eight, 9, and 1 due up for William Penn. Ortega and Herrera. And then back to the top of the lineup of North. There'll be at least the first 3 to face Nicholas Neighbor in this 7th.
And then CMU has a chance, if they could hold them here. Oh, well, maybe tie, maybe walk it off.
Some free baseball?
Down for an 8th and a ninth inning. That's where you really see the colors and the true character of teams. And I feel like we've seen the character of these two teams today.
Nicholas Neighbors back on the hill. Ahead of Ortega. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Oh, by the way, if CMU is to win this game, Nicholas Neighbors is going to receive a massive thank you for what he's done in this game. 1 hit allowed, 7 strikeouts so far. As good as it's gotten. He's pitched today, in his outing, he's pitched better than Foster Seitz did in game 1.
If I'm his teammate right now, I'm tucking him in at night tonight.
Huh.
Making sure he gets a perfect 8 to 10 hours and be ready for tomorrow. The 1-2 up the middle, gets past the diving shortstop. No, the throw to first. Yes! Dominic Proctor playing some defense. There's 1 away.
Momentum matters. That could have been an easy base hit up the middle. Dominic Proctor, who, again, did not play game 1, ushered into things in game 2. He's done it on both sides of the ball today. But you've got to keep that momentum, keep that energy in some way. Dominic Proctor just did that. What a play. Play of the day for sure.
And that's a type of energy that can carry with you into the bottom half. That momentum.
And by the way, he makes both parts of the play perfectly. He makes the dive, which is what you need, right? But then the throw. He's on 1 knee. The throw is hard to make. And he perfect throw. Fans loved it too, by the way.
Oh, I don't blame them. I almost got chills. The 1-1 by Carlos Herrera. With 3 RBIs in the day, swings right through it. 1-2. Neighbors looking for his 8th. He'll get it. 8 strikeouts in less than 4 innings for the reliever, Nicholas Neighbors. He has been on an absolute roll.
And a revenge tour that he hasn't seen all season. Whatever he's done in between his last appearance in Clark last week to what he's done today, whatever he's done, it's been exceptional. And however this game rolls, he should be very proud of himself. Because he's the one that's kept this comeback a possibility. No run since Neighbors entered for William Penn. And one hit.
I think the most impressive part is he's doing this against a red-hot offense. They scored 10 runs before he came in.
Shut the door.
A team that hits .352 away from their friendly confines. As Aiden North, one strike away from being Neighbors' 9th victim via the K. Here's the 1-2. Neighbors trying to send us to the bottom half. It'll have to wait. Fans don't agree?
I'll agree with the ump there. I was outside. Just outside. Almost a great frame there by Sears, too.
He's become a master at that. 2-2. Upstairs. Count full.
And you would like to get North out here if you would, because Soto's next. And Soto has reached base 3 times today and hit a home run in the first. You'd rather not face him in this moment.
Payoff pitch to North. Stays alive. You can feel the tension growing.
I think North's approach here is make him strike you out. And I think if there's anything remotely outside, North's going to let it go. So it's got to be in the zone here from Neighbors.
He will try the 3-2 at least one more time.
50 pitches out of the bullpen. Quick pitching, by the way, too. It's not like he's taking a lot of time in any innings. If he can get a strikeout here, the momentum just reaches the absolute top going into the bottom of the 7th. If he doesn't, then William Penn has some opportunity to maybe manufacture a run here, increase their lead before the bottom of the 7th comes.
51st pitch for Neighbors, and there'll be a 52nd. Talk about Aiden North. He is not letting up at the dish.
Oh, he's not. And by the way, just one walk for Neighbors. That's been another big key. There was 7 walks before him.
Let's do it again. 3-2 by Neighbors. A grounded to short. Proctor to first in time. Nicholas Neighbors, have yourself a night. 4 innings pitched by the reliever, 8 Ks. No runs allowed, only 1 walk issued by the right-hander. CMU an opportunity to do the heroic. We'll head to the bottom of the 7th. Eagles down by 1. 6, 7, and 8 due up for CMU. Darius Freeman, Gavin Whitehurst, Seb Weedy. As we begin the bottom of the 7th, Eagles down a run 10-9. No better opportunity for them to start a rally here and walk things off in quite some fashion after a monumentous comeback.
Just to think about it, one swing ties the game, and the perfect guy is at the plate to lead things off. Freeman gets on base, you're at much better chance. He is 0 for 2 today.
Might be a bit more of an uphill battle. Down 1 and 2. Fouls it off Taylor.
Trying to stay disciplined here, I think, Darius. I don't think he's necessarily looking for a hit. I will tell you this, though. He was part of a couple of comeback efforts with his time up with his summer collegiate baseball team, and he was a huge hero in games like that. He's played in atmospheres like this.
The 1-2, just inside.
What I'm trying to say is he's capable, and he's built for moments like this.
2-2 pitch. Almost got him looking. Home plate umpire not biting. And Freeman, like he usually does, being patient and running the count full. Taylor's 3-2. Fought away. Joseph Taylor also came in relief, just over 1 inning of work. 3 earned runs for the righty. Payoff pitch, and gets Freeman swinging. The throw to first will complete the out. There's 1 away.
That is a huge, and I mean huge, first out for Joseph Taylor in his attempt to save this game. He wasn't supposed to get credited with the save. Remember, he came into this game and it was it was a 10-2 game. Now you have your situation here. It was 10-6 when Taylor came in. Now you need your bottom of the order to do what they've done all day and be productive. You also could maybe get some pinch hitters in here if you need to.
Whitehurst signs that one just below his knees. That's a sigh of relief for William Penn, not only because it's a first out in pretty much the most important inning for you, but primarily because we know what Freeman can do when he does get on base, and the Statesmen haven't really been able to handle that too much with him today.
Yeah, and Taylor's looking more comfortable on the mound, too, when he needs to be.
2-2. And Whitehurst covering for dear life.
Well, sometimes you have to take a pitch like that. If he had stood strong on that, he might have gotten hit.
In the helmet?
Left to Mark. Who knows? Has his chance here now, though.
3-2. Thought he had the walk. Gets frozen up. 2 up, 2 down, and William Penn 1 out away from their first victory at Estes Field in over a decade.
Well, you knew it was never going to be easy for William Penn to get a win like this. But now they are on the cusp. Joseph Taylor putting in his best pitches when they matter most.
Weedy to shorts. Herrera to first, and that will do it. The Statesmen celebrate a 10-9 victory for the first time in 10 years at CMU territory. What a game. The comeback by the Eagles fell just a tad bit too short. But either way, 10-9, we were in for a treat here tonight.
We were in for a treat here today, and unfortunately for CMU, that first inning where they allowed 7 runs, it was just too much of a mountain to climb. They gave it absolutely everything in this game. Unfortunately, they fell just short. And anticlimactic 7th inning. I think everybody in the crowd and everybody in the dugouts, I think they thought that CMU was going to at least tie, maybe go for the win here in the 7th. How about Joseph Taylor picking up a big save, a starter coming out of relief today for the Statesmen to cap it off. Impressive win, maybe the win of the season for William Penn. What a response by the Statesmen after they lost in such dominant fashion in Game 1.
William Penn will pick up their 14th victory of the season. They will remain at a perfect 500, 7-7 in the Hart Conference. CMU will go to 18-10 overall, 12-6 in Hart play. These two teams will face off again tomorrow. A doubleheader here from Fayette. First game starting at 1 p.m. Second game about 30 minutes after to follow. For our entire production crew here at CMU, so glad you guys were with us. For Matt Clark, Esteban Velas, we're saying so long from Fayette. We'll see you tomorrow.